The only place to experience Transformania is in a movie theater.
Okay. When I first heard about a fourth movie in this series, I was already not looking forward to it. And seeing the trailers and seeing it getting dumped into Amazon like it's nothing lowered my expectations. But I didn't expect it to be this bad. I mean, wow. Just, wow. Holy freaking rabies, wow. This is awful. I mean, as an animated kids movie, as an installment of this once good franchise, as a so-called conclusion to the Hotel Transylvania franchise, it just completely fails. This is pretty much the Ice Age Continental Dread of the franchise. The Shrek the Third, the Hunchback 2, the... Well, it's still bad. And you want to know the most tragic thing about it? I actually don't hate this franchise. I like the original Hotel Transylvania movies. The first two weren't masterpieces or anything, but they were well animated, they were cute, they were surprisingly thought-provoking for an Adam Sandler as Dracula type of film. And while I didn't exactly love the third movie, it was at least satisfying enough to deem part of the franchise. And you know how much I like this franchise? I had the time to write some fanfictions with some of the characters, and even a little crossover with Making Fiends. Yeah, I know if you read them, they're not exactly Shakespeare, but I did my best. Which is one thing I can say about this disaster. Okay, let me just address the elephant in the room first. Adam Sandler's absence. Now, I'm not saying he's an Oscar-caliber actor, for the most part, but he was almost iconic as his version of Dracula. So Brian Hall has some shoes to fill when replacing him. And I gotta say props to him. He does the job so well that I at times thought Sandler was still voicing him. As for other positives, I kinda like the idea of what his character was going through with Mavis and Johnny. And I did find myself chuckling once or twice. Okay, on to the negatives. The animation is a joke. I mean, yeah, the first three were pretty cartoonish and exaggerated, but they were at least pleasing to look at. This movie, on the other hand, is so overbearing on the cartoonish and exaggerated. The characters legit look like rejected dailies from that Blue Sky Peanuts movie. Let me just tell you, if Anime had a problem with how the first three looked, imagine his reaction to this crap. The humor is just bad. I mean, I did chuckle at that one scene where the zombie employee gets zapped into a human, only to get bitten back into the zombie. This is the kind of humor I expect from this movie. But no, we have to deal with the poorly animated slapstick, particularly run-to-the-ground jokes, like there's only so much I can take of Dracula getting hurt because he's human, or Frankenhunk, or Invisibly Naked Man. But they just ram these jokes into your head like, ha! Those were coming here, it's gold, right? Let's do it again! Yeah, funny, right? Let's do it again! And again! And again! Calm down, Film Brownie. We didn't get to the actual plot yet. Okay, I'm gonna spoil the heck out of this movie, so if you want to see this movie, skip to this time frame for my summary and rating for this piece of crap. Otherwise, stick around. So the premise of this movie is that Dracula is biased towards Johnny because he's a human, and thus believes he's gonna ruin everything when he retires and gives the hotel to him and Mavis. Like, this doesn't make sense at a character level. Didn't Dredd spend the first two movies pretty much learning to get over his racism towards humans to the point that he let Johnny marry his daughter, raise a family with her, and pretty much run the hotel with her? I'm pretty sure the hotel's doing fine anyway. I mean, sure, there was that one slip-up in the opening scene, which, now that I think about it, is pretty much the exact same opening as the third movie where shenanigans ruined a perfectly good party. But overall, it's doing business pretty well. And let's talk about Johnny for a second. He wants to become a monster to impress his father-in-law, but there's like a million ways to do it around the hotel. How about zombies bite him? Done. Have Murray the Mummy curse him? Done. Or hell, your wife and son are vampires themselves. Just go up to Mavis and be like, hey hon, you want to bite me? Okay, sure. There you go, Drac. I'm a vampire now. Just like you. And I get to live as long as my wife and son, so... win-win scenario. But no, you just had to go to Van Helsing for help, and he just so happened to have this monster-human transformation which he could have just used it to turn the monsters into humans during the decades where he was a monster hunter, but whatever. So he lets himself turn into a monster, without consoling his wife first. Like, hello, you'd think turning into a different species would be like a huge deal, but no, he just wanted to own the hotel so badly that he acts so stupid and gets himself into the fiasco. And let's just talk about the continuity errors in this thing, shall we? First of all, why does Mavis have big ears? I know the idea is that she can pick out things in the distance, but she's a freaking vampire. We already know she can use her bat sonar to hear stuff that's far away from her. And there's also that part where Dracula is somehow able to hypnotize Winnie and Dennis and make them forget about giant shenanigans. Even though the second movie clearly established that vampires can be hypnotized.
You will not follow protocol.
I'm a vampire? I can't be hypnotized?
Right.
Also, when Drax's friends get zapped into humans, why is Bobby a regular Jello? Like, why isn't he human like the others are? Makes no sense. And like I said, we got the overly melt jokes like, oh, Dracula's a vampire now, so he can get hot and sweaty and hurt all the time in the Amazon jungle. And did you know that the Invisible Man was naked the entire time? It's not like we stole this joke with an overlooked and much better movie or anything. Just, we're funny and cool, right? And of course, we get the overdone lie review cliche with Dracula that we all love, and the third act breakup where Johnny goes full Godzilla and goes on a rampage. Until, of course, Drac has his zapping back to normal and be like, it's okay, Johnny, blah, blah, blah. I actually like you, blah, blah, blah. My life has actually been much better ever since you came along, and I wouldn't mind if you help Mavis run the hotel when I'm gone, blah, blah, blah. Plus, for a movie billed as the final chapter, there's no sense in finality or anything. I mean, yeah, Dracula is looking to retire and set a new stage for the hotel, but it's just so little brought up that when we get to the ending, it's like, oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, imagine Toy Story 4 if it went along as a traditional help these toys get back to where they belong story, and at the very last minute, without any warning, where he's like, alright guys, gonna go stay with Bo Peep now, goodbye forever. That's the ending of this movie. I'm sure the hotel got destroyed by one of Van Helsing's experience, and Dracula's like, here Mavis and Johnny, take this key to the hotel and rebuild it the way you like, blah blah blah. And they just rebuild the exact same way as before. Freaking pointless. As the first movie to be judged by my new rating system, Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania gets the seal of disapproval. Remember when the Snyder Cut was the first movie I reviewed in 2021, and how it ended up being my favorite movie of that year? And now this was the first movie I reviewed this year, and it ended up being a complete disaster. I mean, if you have kids who dig these movies, they'll like this one too. But if you're looking for quality entertainment, just watch the first 3 movies again. As for me, I'm craving a horror satire this month that's actually worth saying through.
Do you like scary movies?